8 Worst Airports in Europe 2022. Most airports in Northern and Western Europe, which are going through their own crisis due to personnel shortages and a strong recovery in travel traffic, are experiencing long lines, severe inconvenience, repeated delays, and regular cancellations. In an effort to better and more effectively control travel patterns, which have recovered from pre-pandemic levels, airport after airport are already reducing the number of planes and people traveling per day. The worst performing airports in Europe were identified by data gathered by the Official Aviation Guide, a provider of digital flight information and analytics for the airline industry. And in addition to that, using data from Google Maps and ratings with customer reviews, Holiday, a search engine for holiday rentals, was able to create the ultimate European airport ranking. Putting all of that into consideration, here are Europe's worst airport in 2022. 1. Bordeaux-Marignac Airport, France. With an average Google rating of 2.7, the Bordeaux-Marignac Airport in France takes the first spot on our list. The main issues with this airport were its small size and lack of passenger seating. Alternatively, if you are planning to fly through Bordeaux-Marignac Airport, you might want to look into some alternative solutions given the recent issues with staff strikes that resulted in the cancellation of numerous flights. If you can't get to your location without a flight, there are a good amount of train and bus choices accessible, as well as Toulouse-Blagnac Airport, which has a far better star rating of 3.9 stars and up to 5,041 reviews. It is just 3 to 4 hours by train and 2 to 3 hours by vehicle. 2. Heraklion International Airport, Greece. The following airport on our list is Heraklion International Airport, which has an average Google Maps rating of 2.8 and receives frequent complaints about how busy and underdeveloped it is for the number of passengers. It could be worthwhile to check on the Chania International Airport, which is only a 2-hour drive from Heraklion and has a higher rating of 4.0 and up to 3,678 reviews. 3. Luton Airport, United Kingdom. Bloomberg reports that since the beginning of July, 66% of flights at London's Luton Airport have been delayed and 2.7% have been cancelled, compared to the 51% at London Heathrow. To top it off, it only receives an average Google rating of 3, with the majority of complaints focusing on the lack of public transportation options to the airport and the long lines that result from its small size despite the high number of travelers. Using Heathrow Airport, which has a 4.0 rating and more than 32,000 reviews, or Gatwick Airport, which is larger and has greater capacity and services in case your flight is delayed, may still be worthwhile if you absolutely must fly. Before making a reservation, it is advised to look into alternate modes of transportation like trains or buses. Remember to get to the airport early and only bring hand luggage to save yourself the trouble if there are no other options. 4. Manchester Airport, United Kingdom. Next on our list is Manchester Airport in the UK, where the bulk of complaints focus on rude staff and poor planning that results in extremely long lines. For a better airport experience, it might be worth your while to head over to Liverpool John Lennon Airport, which is about a 45-minute drive from Manchester Airport and has a 3.9-star rating with 3,087 reviews, compared to Manchester Airport's 3-star average rating with just 15,000 reviews. 5. Berlin Willy Brandt International Airport. The Willy Brandt International Airport in Berlin comes in at number 5 on our list. Berlin Willy Brandt International Airport receives only a 3.2 average Google rating, notwithstanding it being plagued from the start by a €4 billion cost overrun and a delay of nearly a decade from its anticipated opening date. Although the facilities are praised for being clean and modern, the majority of complaints focus on being disorganized and the lengthy lines caused by slow security processing. Looking into alternatives, such as Dresden Airport, which is only an hour and a half's drive from Berlin, would be time well spent. The Willy Brandt International Airport in Berlin comes in at number 5 on our list. Berlin Willy Brandt International Airport receives only a 3.2 average Google rating, notwithstanding it being plagued from the start by a €4 billion cost overrun and a delay of nearly a decade from its anticipated opening date. Although the facilities are praised for being clean and modern, the majority of complaints focus on being disorganized and the lengthy lines caused by slow security processing. Looking into alternatives, such as Dresden Airport, which is only an hour and a half's drive from Berlin, would be time well spent. 6. Brussels Airport, Belgium. According to a study by travel site Hopper, Brussels Airport in Belgium is the worst airport to fly from if you're hoping for an on-time departure. Out of all flights departing the airport in July 2022, only 25% left is scheduled. According to statistics recently made available by Hopper Incorporated, an online travel firm financed by Goldman Sachs with roots in aviation, says Brussels Airport has seen more delays than any other airport in Europe. Despite having very little problems with queues at security and check-in, Hopper reports that more than 70% of its flights were delayed. 7. Frankfurt International Airport, Germany. The Frankfurt International Airport possesses all the criteria necessary to be included on this list. The bus service from this airport to the city is inadequate, and it is located far outside of Frankfurt. The primary base of the airline giant Lufthansa, Frankfurt Airport, appeared to be the travel hub where travelers had encountered the most issues this year. Most of the airport's problems include the uncomfortable sitting, the unfriendly employees, and the poor facilities. Not enough entertainment options, being forcibly removed at night, or just general airport hassles. After reducing its employees in response to travel restrictions related to the epidemic, the airline has experienced a staffing shortage. This summer, over 6,000 flights from Frankfurt have been canceled. Recently, the ground personnel for Lufthansa went on strike in protest of salary and working conditions. 8. Eindhoven Airport, Netherlands. Coming in 8th place is Eindhoven Airport, where 67% of flights were delayed and 18% were canceled. The announcement comes shortly after Schiphol was named one of the world's best airports. Both Schiphol and Eindhoven spokespeople indicated that there were a variety of causes for flight delays, ranging from bad weather to runway challenges, but that some flights had been purposefully delayed to give passengers sufficient time to make their connections. Depending on if there is time in the schedule, it might be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or even 30 minutes, according to the Eindhoven Airport spokesperson. Conclusion: airport delays have been rampant this year, and the statistics are anything but flattering for the worst airports of the pack, some of which feature nearly half of their flights being classified as delays. Most of these issues are homemade as lots of staff were let go during the pandemic, and now airports are struggling to hire back staff that is permitted to work in secure areas, which usually requires a background check that can take a lot of time to be completed. There you have it, viewers. That brings us to the end of the video. We hope you found the video interesting and informative enough to give us a thumbs up, hitting that subscription button and turning on the notification icon to be notified when next we upload more important and interesting content in regards to aviation. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.